Welcome back. The Army's next X-Tech prize competition is going downtown. The Association of the U.S. Army will host the competition at its annual meeting at the Washington Convention Center next week. General Bob Brown, U.S. Army retired, is president and CEO of the Association of the United States Army. He's former commander of U.S. Army Pacific. Bob, welcome. It's great to see you again. What kind of a platform do you want to provide at the annual meeting for Army leaders to talk to each other, not just industry to talk to Army, people like me to talk to Army, and so on? How do you want to help them connect with each other?
Yeah, well, it's great to be here, Francis. Thanks for having me. And, it's really important, the networking that goes on at the annual meeting. We'll have some 40,000 folks, 780 plus defense companies. And as you mentioned, the X-Tech, incredible events like that really get the latest in technology and give the small guy as well a chance. And you'll bring in these new ideas, and that particular one's on artificial intelligence, as I remember. So the platform is really key. We'll have 90 countries will attend the annual meeting, as well as all the key leaders. And really it's an educational event as much as you mentioned, industry there, and it's great to see the latest and greatest, network about it. But then also over 150 educational programs that will go on that are really effective, and talking about everything from lessons learned from Ukraine to what's going on in the Middle East and what's happening in the Army Pacific, as you mentioned. The aggressiveness of China, et cetera. So, it's great conversations, forums where they can share key info, leadership from across the country with experts from academia and industry as well.
With the emphasis on great power competition, Major General Trevino mentioned great power competition a couple of times in our conversation a moment ago. You served your last command, as I mentioned, in U.S. Army Pacific. You've seen firsthand what great power competition looks like. How do you connect what goes on in a networking opportunity, what you see in something like the X-Tech competition, to what someone is doing at the tip of the spear, what your warfighters and others are doing at the tip of the spear?
Well, that's a great question. You're absolutely right. I had experience of 30 plus years dealing with China, and I would tell you that they're more aggressive now than they have ever been by far. I mean, it's unbelievable. And the thing that is very bothersome about that is that we could have an accidental conflict. They're just being so incredibly aggressive. I would add Russia as well. Obviously, you saw what just happened the other day in Alaska with the aircraft coming close to each other. But this aggressiveness that's occurring. So when you get the experts together and from regions all over the world, these commanders come from all over the world, the leaders come from all over the world, the academic experts from all over. You can really dig down into what the issues are, what the challenges are. And I just found when I was serving that it would take me 2 to 3 years to travel and meet with the experts you can meet with in a couple of days at the annual meeting, or to see the latest and greatest in technology. I would always come away with 70, 80 ideas that helped us in this great power competition from industry. Because as you know, things have changed. Used to be industry would get ideas from the government, things like the internet. And so, well, now government can't keep up. The ideas come from industry. They move much more rapidly. They have tremendous ideas, and we need them to defend our country, to protect our way of life. And so this ability to network with them, as you said, is just absolutely critical. And you can see a lot, and you'll save lives from the experience.
We have about a minute left. When you talk to your colleagues who are still in uniform, do they get a sense from your discussions that the Army and the other services are getting better at incorporating those ideas and bringing them into use rapidly? Oh,
definitely. All the services created in the Army, they created the Army Futures Command, a tremendous idea. I guess it's about 6, 7 years ago now, maybe even 8. But all the services have that equivalent now, and it's really a key to getting ideas rapidly. It's still a little slower than we'd like it, but it's a heck of a lot faster than it's ever been, and it keeps getting better. Those commands link with industry, and they break down the barriers that used to be there. And that's a necessity today. Is for things like you were talking earlier on AI, you can't get those ideas unless you have industry helping you, and that's going to lead to where we have we are such a powerful, effective force. No one would be foolish enough to attack us. We'll deter any conflict, which is ultimately what we want, of course, not to have to fight.
Bob, it's great to see you again. Thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Great to see you, Francis. Thanks for having me.
Happy to do it. You can read more about AUSA's annual meeting on today's show page at fedgovtoday.com.